Here comes Ramirez on the steal. She's going to pull up for three, and that's a dagger. What a shot after the steal from Annette Ramirez.
Shotgun, takes a hand up, looks to throw, fires it up the middle of the field. It is. Oh!
Jeffries across the timeline. Shot clock is dark. Four to shoot. Jeffries inside. Gets to the rim.
Welcome to the latest edition of Blue Jay Talk. This edition will feature the introduction of new head football coach Luke Butts, a spring sport preview, and a winter sport update. First up, we have new head football coach Luke Butts. Coach, first off, excited to have you here at Westminster. Can you introduce yourself a little bit to the school?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, really excited to be here. The last couple weeks on campus have really been a phenomenal experience. The relationship building with our guys, the alignment of our staff, trying to build our culture. It's been a whole heck of a lot of fun so far. And a thank you to you for everything that you do for Blue Jay Athletics and our student athletes. But yeah, just kind of, for me, obviously been here a couple weeks now. The previous 11 years was an assistant football coach at my alma mater, 30 miles north of downtown Chicago at Lake Forest College. I was a 4-year student athlete there, went away for 6 months and came back in January of 2013 to my alma mater and started as a position coach, worked up most recently to associate head coach, and had some success up there. Was an economics major, and obviously jumped at the opportunity to come down here to Westmo.
As you mentioned, you're coming to Westminster from Lake Forest as an assistant. Good program they have up there, and it's your first head coaching job. So what are you looking to bring along with you to rub off on our program, and what are you most looking forward to here in year one? Yeah,
great question. I think, and it's just me kind of being consistent in my messaging and answers to similar these questions from whomever, is for us in year one, it's all about culture. And to be honest with you, I've told the guys this the other day, I probably shouldn't have them jinx it, but in the first 2 weeks, I feel like the buy-in that we've created, what we've been able to accomplish in the weight room, our recruiting days, on the 27th at the basketball game with our football guys being there, being all excited on the game-winning shot there with the .4 left. Our guys have bought in, and they're hungry. They're putting in the work, and kind of our motto of what we laid out to them is we need to understand that being a part of this football program here, it's bigger than yourself, and making sure that we're putting the team first, we're putting Westmo first. And then every day and every opportunity that we have, playing to the standards of what it takes for us to continue to get better on a daily basis. And so I think, that's always been kind of a big framework and mindset for me in terms of something that I kind of instilled, in my opinion, at Lake Forest to a certain degree with our defense, where we had great buy-in, great alignment with our staff, and therefore we had success. And I told the guys in our first team meeting that, anytime we've had elite success, in particular on a national level, it's never been about individual stats. Getting your catches, getting your tackles, whatever the case may be. It's been about us collectively working together in unison, believing in each other for a cause greater than just me. And that's when we collectively have had success as a team. And so I think kind of the mission here of, hey, what are you, hoping to bring down here is just me being me, hiring a great staff, creating buy-in with the staff, creating the relationships, and trying to build that culture where every day we're chasing greatness in everything that we do.
So if you had one specific message to give current fans, players, assistant coaches, and future recruits, what would that be?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, you come out on Saturdays in the fall, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a good brand of football where there's togetherness, there's relentless effort, and there's elite discipline across the board. Philosophically, we want to be able to run the ball efficiently on offense, stop the run on defense, create explosive plays, limit explosive plays, and play elite special teams. and see what goes, from there. And that, kind of builds from our core pillars of, you should anticipate that we're going to work. And I told the guys, straight up from day one, like, I'm here, I'm all in, I chose you guys, and I know that we've got something special here and we can have success if we do things the right way. And I think for fans, players, coaches, recruits, everybody, we're going to do things the right way, and we're going to work. And we are going to collectively chase greatness together in everything that we do. And I think that's been, kind of looking back from the first couple weeks, the staff buying into that message, the staff buying into building the relationships on a one-on-one level with our players, offense, defense, offense, and vice versa. It's been a lot of fun, and we've made a lot of strides, and we got a long way to go. But I think for everybody out there, get on board right now, because what we've got building the direction that we're going, it's in a good place. And we're going to put the work in and see what happens this fall.
Thank you for coming on. Excited to have you here.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Museums allow us to celebrate humanity's soaring achievements while also providing lessons on how to avoid the mistakes of our past. They can also amplify the voices of underrepresented groups while bringing economic uplift to communities. We invite you to explore this world while finding a rewarding career by becoming a Museum Studies major at Westminster College.
Joining us next, we have head tennis coach Samantha Pennington. Coach, thank you for coming on. Would you like to give us a little bit of background? And I would also like to ask, what kind of excitement comes with the new season, and what are you looking forward to most?
Yes, thanks. And I really appreciate you having me on the program. I am so excited to be a part of Westminster and the athletic program. I'm personally originally from Normal, Illinois, where I grew up. Currently, I'm in Kansas City area. Went to Eastern Illinois University, where I played D1 tennis on the team. Have a lot of experience coming in to help this Blue Jay program and for the men's and women's program. And I tell you what I'm most excited about, like just coaching. I am very passionate about it. I've never had an opportunity to be a college coach, but boy, college tennis is a lot different than the high school tennis and just regular USTA competing. College tennis is super fun. Coaches can be out on the court coaching the players. There's a lot of fan involvement where there can be some shouting and just a lot of encouragement that you don't normally get in high school matches. So it's really fun to be a part of a college team. Another thing I'm excited about is the boys that we have on the team. I mean, a lot of them know each other. In fact, I think 5 of the 6 are on the same Phi Delta fraternity there at Westminster. They've already been out on these nice days, hitting and getting outside and practicing as much as they can. I haven't even had any organized practices yet, but that's pretty cool to know that the players are out there taking the ball machine and out there playing. I've got 2 returning players, Cooper Pennington, John Stannard, Will Moore, and then the ones non-returning are Will Morris, Ryan Pemberton, Blaine Klatt, and Hugo Hover. So super excited to work with the boys this year.
Next, can you give me some dates of different home matches this year?
Yes, we have 2 in the books so far. We will be playing on, let's see, the first one is a Thursday, March 21st against Kaskaskia College. And the second one is Sunday, April 14th at Illinois College. The exact times aren't out yet, but that will all be updated on our website. Our website has our whole schedule up to date and current on there. So love to get some student body support. Like I said, when you play college tennis, fans can come out. You don't have to be polite. I mean, it's just, well, you can make some noise and have some fun out there while you're supporting the students.
Yeah, of course. So now I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk more of the recruiting side of things. What are you looking for and hoping in prospective recruits? And can you tell us a little bit of what goes into that?
Yeah, recruiting, I really think this is going to be a fun part of the job. Right now, we're in a rebuilding phase for the program. We only have 6 men right now. I've recruited about 4 or 5 more women coming for this next fall of 2024 season. So we are definitely looking for some recruits here at Westminster. As far as what goes into it. I just really am looking for someone that is a high school player. And maybe it's someone who thinks, hey, I don't know if I'm good enough to play college tennis, but boy, I'd really like to try, and I have a lot to offer, and I just don't want to stop my high school career, and I want to keep competing. That's the players we're looking for. I want someone that is dedicated, what is a hard worker, good academically as well, but someone that's just wants to say, hey, I played college tennis. I want to be able to put this down and work hard. So yeah, a lot does go into it. I'm looking at area high schools in the area, sending out letters to coaches, trying to get on social media and make some contacts. So yeah, definitely. We're looking for players, even on campus. If you're out there listening, you played high school tennis, but you don't think you're good enough to play, come on out and try it. That's what we're looking for right now.
It's good to hear. So if you could give one message to current and future Blue Jays about your tennis program, what would that be?
Hey, let's rebuild the program. Let's come out. Let's have fun. Let's grow this. Let's get to know each other. Let's build memories that are going to last a lifetime.
So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Today's typical college student is no longer the recent high school graduate. Almost half of all college students in the United States are age 24 or older, and they have busy lifestyles. They have families, they work part-time jobs or full-time jobs, and they want to earn a college degree. As you could imagine, the traditional college experience just doesn't work for them. Westminster College has a rich history of excellence in cultivating leaders. And now, we can take that experience beyond our campus. We're proud to announce the launch of Westminster Online. It's designed to be flexible and to meet your needs. This program runs in back-to-back 7-week sessions, so you can finish your degree faster. It's 100% online, so you can attend class on your schedule. You can choose to major in either business administration, organizational leadership, or in psychology. Westminster Online is affordable, and if you need to pause your studies because life happens, you can do that. You're able to sit out a session and then come back when you're ready. Check out our website at wcmo.edu to learn more.
Here next, I have head baseball coach Jake Jourdain. Coach, glad to have you on. Year 2 now as head coach. What for you has been different this year now that your culture foundation was set last year, and how does that play a part in the excitement for the upcoming season?
First of all, thank you guys for having me on. I did this last year and was looking forward to doing it again this year. The main difference for me kind of right off the bat is last year every day was a brand new experience for me. So I had nothing to really base my experiences off of. Every day was basically day zero and a new experience. Having survived the first year, having a little bit of experience, it makes us feel a lot better going into the year. I feel a little bit more comfortable from a coaching standpoint. And we talk about the culture. That was our main priority last year, was trying to overhaul the culture. We want our guys to have fun at practice, to have fun in the weight room, but at the same time, hold them to a high standard, hold them accountable. Last year was a step in the right direction, but I think with culture, it's always evolving, always changing. You're going to be graduating seniors, you're going to be bringing in new freshmen. So it changes year to year. This year, we're extremely fortunate. We have 15 seniors, and that makes my life a lot easier. The main thing we preach to our guys is it's a players team. It's a players program. We want to give them autonomy, give them decision-making ability, because at the end of the day, it's their team, it's their culture.
You mentioned graduating guys, and that definitely happened after last year. Very strong finish last year, but now you've lost 5 of those 9 starters, including leadoff man and Gold Glover Steve Diaz, as well as your 4 and 5 hole hitters. What have you done to reshape your roster, and how do you expect the new look offense to look?
It'll be tough to ever replace Diaz, I would say. He was a one of a kind player. We got a new guy from Culver Stockton, KP, that I think is going to do a heck of a job. But more than anything, I think the word we used was reshape. We're going to be different this year. There's no doubt. You talk about losing losing the vast majority of our lineup and the vast majority of our power. So from a recruiting standpoint, from a practice standpoint, we've been preaching athleticism. I think we did a good job bringing in athletes, and I think our practice plans have been evolved around developing athletes. So I think you're going to see us run more. We're going to play better defense. We're going to pitch better. So there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to be very solid, but it's going to be a different offensive approach, different team than last year for sure.
And you mentioned the confidence coming in, and it definitely shows with your schedule. You definitely beefed it up a little bit. You're going down to Arkansas playing two really good programs in Belhaven and Hendricks, who, by the way, had 27 wins last year, and then taking on Belhaven again in Jackson. Then you added Illinois College and Division II McKendree to the schedule. So how do you feel about this? What kind of challenges will now present themselves with this tougher schedule? In addition to that, how excited are you for the new conference format?
We're very excited. The conference format, to kind of start with that, is going to be very interesting. No longer really playing series and shifting more towards the doubleheader format. I think you're just going to see very good arms basically all the time. You talk about those game 3, game 4 is usually when we would get into an opponent's bullpen. With the doubleheaders, you don't really have that as much. So I think you're going to just see a higher quality of arm across the conference. And in terms of the schedule, like you said, we're excited to have the opportunity to play these teams. The coaching staff sat down this offseason basically looking at it. The top 2 teams in the SLIAC are going to be top 25 teams in the country. That's our program goal. That's kind of what we want to move towards. And in order to do that, it does you no good to kind of beat up on some of these cupcake teams. And so that was kind of the decision to shift our schedule to make it as tough as possible, and kind of have our schedule mimic our goal of being a top 25 program and winning the SLIAC.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck.
Thank you, Noah.
Next up, we have senior outfielder Chris Louie of the baseball team. Chris, last year you transferred in spring. I myself have been part of that, so I understand challenges that come with that. My question is, how has it been different this year compared to last, since you've been on campus for a year now?
Yeah, so last year my main mental focus was just trying to get acclimated to this pre-existing culture that the guys built, like in the fall since before I got there. And at the same time that I'm doing that, I'm going to practice, I'm trying to eat right, I'm keeping my grades up, I'm trying to stay hydrated, and there's a lot going on, and I'm just, I'm trying to excel at everything at the same time. This year, I'm already part of that. I'm already part of the culture that we built, and I got a routine to keep me straight, and I get to step into more of a leadership role, and I think that's really important since we got a lot of younger guys that came in this fall. And I think it's really important that we have some leaders on the team that can help them transition from high school to college baseball.
You mentioned that leadership side of it. As a senior, you're one of the guys that got some time on the field on a team that lost a lot of innings on the offense. It's important you step up and try to lead the younger players, as you mentioned. What have you been really doing to try to accomplish this?
Yeah, so from experience, I've been there. I know how nerve-wracking it could be to be a freshman on a college baseball field. I know there's a lot of pressure associated with that. So whenever I'm out there with the guys, I just try to keep the mood light, and I try to keep reminding guys that if they make a mistake, failure, it's not absolute. It's not something that they should carry with them. And so I try to remind guys that the faster that they forget about their last failure, the better they're going to do at that next rep that they get. And but on the technical side of things, my defense is something that's really been a staple for me since I've been here, and so I try to help give advice when I can on what's been successful for me in the outfield. And I've also worked on trying to be more approachable, and I've worked on my leadership skills so that guys trust me enough to come up to me and ask questions.
And then last question I have for you is, last year your stats, although limited, playing in only 18 games, when you did play, you were very successful. You compiled a .500 batting average with a home run, 13 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. What have you been trying to do to carry that success over to this year, as you are now seemingly looking at more opportunity?
Yeah, you said it yourself, statistically on paper, it really couldn't get much better for me. And first and foremost, I think that speaks to how truly unique our team was last year. Here on one hand, you have a guy that's hitting 500, but you have 3 outfielders out there that can better benefit the team, and it was truly a pleasure to play alongside each and every one of them. But last year, there wasn't much that stopped me from hitting the ball and getting on base, and so that's something that I really want to carry over and implement into this year's season. And so, going into last year's offseason, there wasn't a lot that I really wanted to change or remove from my game. And so it was more so just building upon the strengths from last year. And for me, that just looked like getting stronger, getting faster, and getting more mobile.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Attaboy, Louie.
Museums allow us to celebrate humanity's soaring achievements while also providing lessons on how to avoid the mistakes of our past. They can also amplify the voices of underrepresented groups while bringing economic uplift to communities. We invite you to explore this world while finding a rewarding career by becoming a Museum Studies major at Westminster College.
Head track and field coach Hunter Briggs is up next. Coach, it's your first spring as head coach. What are you doing and what are you trying to incorporate to get your squad up and running?
Yeah, so I know this is going to sound kind of obvious, but it's just becoming more organized as a team, like meeting for practice, just kind of treating it as a college sport and just kind of setting that standard this first year, having them come out, being organized with practice, and then just giving them kind of goals to shoot for, like having them look at the conference performance list so they just see what other athletes in the times in the conference are running, and then just after meet showing them where they're at on the performance list and what they need to work on and what they can do to move up on those.
Are there any specific goals you've set for this first season, and what kind of excitement does each season bring?
Yeah, so kind of for this first season, especially this indoor season, it's just kind of go out, score more points than we did than last year at the SLIAC conference meet, and just do better than we were picked in the preseason polls, which the men were picked 9th, women were picked tied for 8th. Then kind of after this first weekend, really think we can do that. And then kind of with each season, it's just a chance to go out and see where everybody is after we've been having practices, and then see where their marks are, then just actually go out and do something and not be able to just not go out at practices every day.
Are there any specific athletes you'd like to highlight as names to know for the upcoming season?
Yeah, so right now we have Callie Strayhorn. She's a freshman from Jefferson City, Capital City High School. Broke the school record in the 16 to 200 at this opening meet. Right now she's 3rd at in the 16 to 200 in the conference. Really think she can go out and have a chance to compete for a conference title. Then Emma Braby, another freshman. She's from California High School. She's ranked 6th in the shot put in the conference right now. Really think with a couple more meets, 2 more weeks of practice, she'll be able to go out and really be able to compete for an all-conference spot. Then we have Monasia Sadiq coming back. She'll make her debut next Friday. Think she'll be able to go out and score some points in the 400 conference. So with those, think we can really go out and be looking at a 6th to 7th place finish. Has a women's program. Then for the men, we have Elijah Till, who is just off his own score record. And his season debut in the 200 last week. He's ranked 3rd right now. Same thing, like 0.05 off 2nd. So he should be able to go out, compete for an all-conference spot. Then Michael Giles, he had a really good debut in the 800, coming back on the double after the mile, a 2nd off the school record. He'll be running the 800 fresh next week. So I think he can go out, get the school record, and move up in the conference list on that and look to score in the 800 at the conference meet.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck.
Thanks.
Museum Studies at Westminster is a program where students create and curate exhibitions, design programs, ask challenging questions, and above all, blend history, heritage, and culture in a way that informs and inspires. We invite you to join us at Westminster and be a part of history in a way that not only preserves the past, but through the power of museums, helps to build a better future.
Next up, we have head softball coach Sara Stafford. Coach, always exciting with the new year coming. You have a pretty experienced group. How does that make it easier for your job?
It makes it a lot easier. I mean, everything from practices to warm-ups and just how we do things. They pretty much already know the ropes. So, yeah, I mean, super easy. the girls got their eyes on the prize, and looking forward to the season.
What sorts of goals and expectations do you have for this year's squad?
We're just excited, to get out there and compete. We made a few little changes here and there, and I'm excited for our pitchers to come out and dominate, and our fielding and our hitting's really come along. So, we're excited.
And lastly, what are you most looking forward to?
Most looking forward to, I would probably just say seeing these seniors have their final year, and they've worked really hard their whole experience at Westminster. So just seeing them flourish and live out their senior year and play hard.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck.
Cool. Thank you.
Senior outfielder Maddie Marrero of softball is here next. Always exciting with the new year. As a team, you guys kind of struggled last year, but you had a great season, hitting .324 with 6 RBIs in 20 games played. How are you looking to build off of that?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I think we had some growing pains last year, just stepping into an environment. We were still a young team. I was grateful to, feel pretty comfortable in the space, and I think now, the best thing you can do is just keep moving forward, and I think that's our mindset right now. We're hungry for more. We want more for ourselves, and we know we can take it. We're just really, every practice we're taking extra reps. We're looking and pushing each other further than we have before, and I think we're going to see the results of that. So I'm really excited.
Going back to Florida this year for spring break, I know that always brings excitement. So what kind of excitement does that bring to the team?
I always love our Florida trip. I think it's a great team bonding environment, but it also, we're seeing competition, not anything like we see around here. It's so exciting just to see these new teams, just being in that space. We enjoy all the fun parts of it too, but we're also there to play. And I think, I see people really stepping into a new element when they get to those Florida games because they know that competition is going to be at that next level.
And lastly, what kind of goals or expectations do you guys have as a team, and what kind of personal goals have you set?
Yeah, so we're very deliberate about setting goals this season. We all sat down at the very beginning of our season and we wrote, 3 personal goals and 3 team goals. And that was anywhere for our team where it was like, working our way through the lineup. We want to have quality at bats. We want to be, even if you're not hitting a home run every time, are you moving a runner? Are you, doing something productive for your teammates? Is that, being loud in the dugout, making sure we're cheering everybody, no matter what happens, no matter if you make an error. So I think it's just kind of that overall positive approach I think we really want to focus on as a team. For me in particular, this is my last ride, so I want to make sure that, I'm not leaving anything out. I'm leaving it all out there on the field. So I'm really excited for that for myself, and just to, take it all in, but also continue to be a good teammate and push people and do what we can.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
The way we consume digital media in our world is constantly changing. The way we learn about it needs to change at that same pace. At Westminster College, we're putting you at the forefront of this interdisciplinary research by letting you experience firsthand some of these changes so you'll be better prepared to create it yourself when you leave our campus. In our labs, you'll experience cutting-edge technologies that will prepare you for a career in whichever sector of digital media that you're comfortable. You won't just hear about digital media, you'll experience it yourself.
Now up, we have junior guard Annette Ramirez from the women's basketball team. Annette, you received Player of the Week honors a couple weeks ago. You had kind of a slow start to the year, but wow, has it picked up. An honor like this shows that. How does that make you feel?
It felt really nice to see that I got Player of the Week, but one thing that really stood out to me was just how happy my teammates were for me, because I believe we played Lyon and then we played MUW. So both 2 road trips that we knew we had to get, especially with conference coming up. But after those 2 games, they were all like adding up my stats, and they're like, "Oh, you averaged a double-double. If you don't get Player of the Week, like, we're going to be really upset." And I'm like, "No, guys," I told them, like, "It's all right. Like, we won both these games. That's really all that matters. If I get it, it's cool. But if not, it's all right." And they're like, yeah, no, if you don't get it, we're going to be pretty upset. And I'm like, oh, okay. But that just shows a lot, just like how we are as a team and stuff. Like, I don't know if I've ever really been a part of something where everyone is like sincerely like happy for me. And that's just how it has been like at Westminster. But to see my name and see like Slyak post like, oh, player of the week, it just shows not only a lot for me, but as a team, you know, just like how I have to help my teammates get going, they really get me going. So it was just a testimony to how well we performed that week as a team.
And you mentioned a little bit about the SLIAC tournament. Big win the other night that gives you guys a good shot to secure that bye. What was that like? Take me through the emotions that came with that game.
Yeah, so we all knew that it was a big game coming up. Brennan had beat us the first time, and which it was one that we really wanted back, and we knew since we were basically fighting for the second seed of the tournament. So, I mean, we both went out there, we both competed, but I know before the game we were all like, we've got to get this win. Like, and first off, like, they should not beat us at home. Like, we've got to make this a good one. And so it was a slow start coming out of the jump. Low-scoring game. I'm not sure how many points we both had, like, into the half. I think it was, like, in the 20s. But it was low-scoring. But once we came out of the half, third quarter went really well for us. Liv had a couple of huge buckets, and I told her she had this really nice step back three, and I was like, "Whoa, Liv! Like that was awesome." But and then we finally got a little run going, and so it was starting to get like exciting. Like we were like, "Yeah, we've got this in the bag." But then they started crawling back. You know, I mean, we're both solid teams. Every good team's gonna make a run, and so they stopped ours, and then they got theirs. But I mean, it just wasn't like enough for them, and thankfully we locked down and we ended up getting the win by a few points. But it felt really nice to get that one back just because they beat us the first time, and now we have the potential to basically clinch the second seed if we continue to take care of business.
You've set yourself up once again to have a good shot at Conference Player of the Year. What goes into that?
Yeah, I haven't really like thought about that one much. I know at the beginning of the season that I'd kind of have that, I guess, pressure just because I got it last year. And they're like, oh, well, if you got it last year, then you should be able to. But, I mean, once again, it just, I don't know. If it happens, like, that'll be awesome. Like, that'd be something that come with it. But, I mean, that's not really the ultimate goal for me. Like, I'm trying to help win a conference championship and just go further into that because, I mean, it's been a long time coming. Like you said, at the beginning of the year, it was kind of like a slow start, not only for me, but just as a team, just trying to see what works well, trying to adjust to all these new girls here and seeing how we can all flow and like play together and stuff. And so now we've hit a groove. We won, I think, 8 straight. So, yeah, if Conference Player of the Year happens, that'll be cool. But I'm hoping to get pretty far with this group because, I mean, not only do our like coaches deserve it, but so do all of us. And so we're really excited going into the tournament. And if that happens, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm confident and excited to see how we do moving forward.
Thank you for coming on. Good luck the rest of the way out.
Thanks for having me.
Senior guard Brennan Jeffries is up next here from men's basketball. Brennan, first off, one thing I would like to say is what great improvements I've seen out of you from last season to this season. What sorts of things goes into that? Is it coaching, your teammates, your own work? Elaborate on that a bit for me.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything, coaching, teammates, and then mostly just, kind of playing with my own confidence. That's the most important thing whenever you're trying to improve on yourself is just being confident in yourself. And, I thank my teammates, my coaches, because all of that is contributed to the season I've had so far. So, yeah.
It's sort of family tree in the Westminster men's basketball program with you being here, your dad on staff as an assistant, and your brother also being on the roster and alongside you in the starting lineup. What's that like?
Yeah, it's amazing for sure. I'm thankful every moment that I get to experience something like that. You know, not too many people get to have their dad on the coaching staff and then their brother with them in the starting lineup. So, you know, of course we get in our little arguments sometimes like family does, but for the most part it's amazing and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So,
and lastly, what everyone has been looking forward to hearing about. Against Blackburn, you go coast to coast and call game, getting an and one and completing a 3-point play at the free throw line. In that moment, what's going through your mind? What's your thought process like there?
So yeah, it was amazing play. We kind of originally we drew it up for Jack to come off and get the ball, and then my guy jumped up behind me, and I kind of just split the two defenders and took it to the hoop and ended up getting an and one, and it was a moment I'll remember for probably the rest of my life. So it was awesome. Kind of kept us at the time during in playoff contention. So, I mean, that was kind of really important for us. So to know I kind of made that play at the time to keep us into playoff contention was awesome.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Today's typical college student is no longer the recent high school graduate. Almost half of all college students in the United States are age 24 or older, and they have busy lifestyles. They have families, they work part-time jobs or full-time jobs, and they want to earn a college degree. As you could imagine, the traditional college experience just doesn't work for them. Westminster College has a rich history of excellence in cultivating leaders, and now we can take that experience beyond our campus. We're proud to announce the launch of Westminster Online. It's designed to be flexible and to meet your needs. This program runs in back-to-back 7-week sessions, so you can finish your degree faster. It's 100% online, so you can attend class on your schedule. You can choose to major in either business administration, organizational leadership, or in psychology. Westminster Online is affordable, and if you need to pause your studies, because life happens, you can do that. You're able to sit out a session and then come back when you're ready. Check out our website at wcmo.edu to learn more.
Next, we have freshman men's wrestler Austen Wetzel. Austen, first off, being a freshman but being able to stay close to home, that has to be a luxury, right? How's it been this year trying to adapt to being away from home and adapting to collegiate wrestling from high school wrestling? The distance had to have helped, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a blessing to stay close to home. I have the support system and everyone I grew up with around me, so it's definitely a blessing to be close to home in college. The difference from wrestling in college and high school is probably the mindset. Everyone here is looking for the opportunity to be the best they can be, and your mindset always has to be on point 24/7, and just the attitude it takes to be a college athlete, it's so much different from high school.
Secondly, you were recently named the number 14 wrestler in your weight class in all of Division III. What an honor that is. What are your feelings on this, and how did it make you feel?
It's a good feeling to be ranked as a freshman, but it gives me a drive to be better. It gives me a goal to reach for. Rankings don't really mean much. It's how you wrestle at regionals, conference, nationals. If I'm not on point, rankings won't matter. But it gives me a strive to be better.
And lastly, can you run us through what it's like to be a part of the wrestling team here at Westminster? What do you enjoy most about it?
We're all a family here. It's a family I haven't ever felt in any other sport, any other wrestling team. Everyone here is connected. We're all like brothers and sisters. It's a family I always want to be a part of.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Here comes Ramirez on the steal. She's going to pull up for three, and that's a dagger! What a shot after the steal from Annette Ramirez.
Shotgun, takes the hand up, looks to throw, fires it up the middle of the field. It is
Jeffries across the timeline. Shot clock is dark. 4 to shoot. Jeffries inside. Gets to the rim.